The area that became St. George was part of the traditional homeland of the Waldo Patent region inhabited by the Wawanach, or Wallanakiak, a subgroup of the Abenaki people. They fished the rich waters of the St. George River and Muscongas Bay for thousands of years. The first European contact came with explorers like John Smith, 1614, and later settlers who traded with native groups until conflicts, especially during King Philip's War and Dummer's War, drastically reduced the native population in the region. Colonization and the Muscongas, or Waldo, Patent, 1719-1750s. In the early 18th century, the large Muscongas Patent, later called the Waldo Patent, was granted to a group of Boston investors, including Samuel Waldo. Settlement was slow due to ongoing native resistance. The first permanent European settlers arrived around 1730s-1750s in what is now Cushing in Tennant's Harbor. Fort St. George was built in 1754 at Cushing as a defense against French and native raids during the French and Indian War. Incorporation and growth as a fishing and shipbuilding town, 1760s-1800s. The town of St. George was officially incorporated in 1803, carved out of the larger town of Cushing. Named after the St. George River, itself possibly named for a British ship or for the patron saint, it quickly became a major center for fishing, especially cod and later lobster, granite quarrying, and wooden shipbuilding. Villages such as Tennant's Harbor, Port Clyde, Wiley's Corner, and Clark Island grew around harbors and mills. By the mid-19th century, dozens of schooners were launched from local yards. Peak prosperity and 20th century transition, late 1800s, 1950s. The late 19th and early 20th centuries were the town's economic high point. Large granite quarries operated on Clark Island and Spruce Head, sardine canneries packed millions of cans, especially in Port Clyde, and the fishing fleet was one of the largest on the Maine coast. The arrival of summer, rusticators, and artists, including members of the Wyeth family, N.C., Andrew, and Jamie, beginning in the 1920s, 1930s transformed parts of St. George into an important art colony and tourist destination. Modern St. George, 1960s, present. After the collapse of ground fishing in the late 20th century and the closure of most canneries and quarries, St. George successfully pivoted to lobstering, today one of Maine's top lobster ports, aquaculture, oysters and kelp, and tourism. The Marshall Point Lighthouse, famous from the film Forrest Gump, the Wyeth Legacy, and the working waterfront of Port Clyde, home of the Monhegan Ferry, keep the town vibrant. Population has remained stable around 2,500 to 2,600, balancing year-round fishing families with a growing seasonal and retiree community.